Hey, welcome. This is G with All Astrology, and it is time for a subscriber free reading. Lighting the sacred sage, set the sacred space for this reading. But before I even do that, let me acknowledge today is November 11th, so I want to send a shout out and give an attitude of gratitude for all those that have served and for their families and their sacrifice. Okay, this is a subscriber-free reading, and we are setting a sacred space so that only the information that comes through that this person needs to hear gives them the highest of the guidance from straight from divine. And our goddess will lead us to a path of high integrity for this reading. So, I said today is 11/11, okay? Got some videos on that, and I'll attach them below here. If you don't know the significance of today other than being Veterans Day, you might want to take some time to watch a video or two and understand how this day can completely and totally benefit you and bring information to your awareness that you didn't have before. Because we are receiving a rare alignment out there in the universe between Mercury and the Sun, supported by divine Neptune, to give us information, to help us, to assist us, to add peace, beauty, and harmony, and intellect and intelligence into our life, to be objective and to see clearly. And with that, let's proceed on to this free subscriber reading, which, by the way, before I go further, if you are new here, I am G. This is All Astrology, and we give free subscriber readings. So all you got to do is go down below, comment your birth info, and we'll hook you up. Okay? At any time in any of the readings that I do or in any of the videos that we produce and share with you guys, any of the knowledge and the information and the wisdom that comes through, if there's anything you do not understand that is being said, do not hesitate to comment below. Even if you've already gotten a free chart from us, all the time people are like, hey G, could you explain this for me? I know where this is at in my chart, or I don't know where this is at. Could you just explain this thing about my life or this thing that's going on? I'm not sure. I don't understand. Ask anybody. We respond. We get back as fast as possible. We comment. We like the rapport. The whole purpose of this channel, the whole premise is to share knowledge, to share what comes through and to share it with you, okay? In order for you to connect with your divine knowledge. Gotcha? Understand? Okay, so now we're going to give the birth time for this subscriber free reading. We do not use names. We value privacy. That is one of the priorities in giving the free readings. And I am looking at, wow, it's really fascinating, all these November birthdays. So it's November 16th. 1989, November 16th, 1989, 7:02 p.m. If there is ever a time where we have duplicate birth times and dates, we find other ways for you to understand that this is most definitely your reading. So if you hear the date, November 16th, 1989, 7:02 p.m., and you know you put your information down below, this is your free reading with G, okay? And the goddess. All right. So let's talk about today and bring you up to speed. November 16th. Let's see what's going on in your life. All right. Your birthday is in 5 days. Happy birthday. Where when the transiting sun touches upon our sun, it usually adds to our vitality and our strength. Okay. For you, it will be highlighting your health. It will be highlighting committed one-on-one relationships, deeply bonded relationships, because that's who you are. You are a Scorpio sun. And I forgot to mention, this is a Gemini ascendant reading. So for anybody else listening, and if you know your rising or your ascendant is Gemini, listen to the reading overall, because the generalities of this reading will affect your life and will pertain to you. Okay? Gemini ascendant reading. So let me get back to what I was talking about. Right, I was talking about present day. Now, 11/11, This day where we're getting this information download, this is happening very close to your natal sun. This is happening very close to your natal Pluto, which is deep, deep, deep below the surface knowledge about one-on-one relationships, people that you're in committed one-on-one relationships. This would also be business partnerships. Okay, so the ways that you have been sexually bonded, emotionally bonded, physically bonded, deep emotional bondings, and business bonded, like material and money bonded, right? Anybody you've had those kind of relationships with where you've been bonded by those things, this Mercury and Sun thing that's happening today for you is right on top of your Pluto. And Pluto's all about our soul's goals and stuff below the surface. The deep, deep, deep stuff that it takes the drilling of Pluto to get down to the bottom of and to be like, oh shit, that's where the oil is. That's where the gold is. I did not even know that was there. And so the whole point of this energy and these events happening around this date is you get information that comes through and somehow gives you information you didn't have before, and it adds to your reservoir, it adds to your encyclopedia of information, of things, of information and knowledge on how to move forward. Meaning you could get information about somebody in your life, something you did not know about, something that you need to know, something that then makes you reconsider the quality and the validity of the relationship and whether you keep it or whether you decide to let it go. I'm only mentioning this because I looked at your chart and there is a theme building here in your life. And I'm trying to do it in a chronological way so it's not completely confusing. I like to give people dates so that they have a way of understanding the expectancy, the time in which things and events occur, and understanding the timing of which they evolve, and so that you see, okay, she said this around this time, so when this happens, it's like, okay, well, I kind of knew this was coming, right? But there is a time in your life coming, well, I'm just going to go ahead and mention it right now. In your chart, in your seventh house is all about your committed relationships. You have lots of planets there, and typically having lots of planets there, usually, not always, because we have free will, all right? So when I speak of things, it is the inclination, is the potentiality. Your free will can override, and you can choose how to do with what you want with the energy that I talk about, all right? I want to make that perfectly clear. You have a lot of planets in the seventh house, and when a person has a lot of planets in the seventh house, it typically indicates lots of relationships. Lots of committed relationships, lots of committed one-on-one relationships. Could that be marriages? Yes. Could that be partnerships? Yes. Could that be business partnerships? Most definitely. Okay. And for you, it would definitely be business partnerships. Now, when it comes to other sorts of relationships, there's this individual, unique, seeker, freedom part of you that you also have in you that likes to explore, likes to have relationships that could be sexual and that could be more of a one-on-one marriage type thing, yet the marriage thing may or may not happen. However, you have a lot of other planets, you have a lot of planets in that same location, but do tend to be more on the side of, I will commit to you. I will make a contract. I will bond to you. And I will do it in a very practical, tangible, traditional way. Marriage, right? Or business partnership, like we sign contracts, right? So you very much have that. But what I'm seeing is that you probably have a lot of business partnerships. So whether that means you have a lot of simultaneous business partnerships, because you're very good at zoning in on another individual's energy, not just their energy, but you know what another person has the ability to share on a deep level. You have an innate knowledge about that. You're going to be able to connect deeply with people that you want to connect deeply with very quickly. You have an empathic ability about you within your first house of your whole being, of sensing what another individual is thinking, feeling, what they value, what they don't value, what upsets them, what might not upset them, and understanding what is important to them. And you're going to be quite psychic in that sense. This is a Scorpio sun sign, people. Scorpio sun sign with a watery Cancer moon. Right now you have the assistance of Neptune in Pisces, water, and you have this beautiful, sweet-ass, grand water trine that's been going on with your house of yourself and your income, cha-ching, and work, other people's money, other people's resources, and your 10th house, your highest worldly ambition and goals, what you want to be known for, what you want to do professionally. This has been occurring, and it will continue to occur. You're going to have Neptune gracing you for a few years. You have this sweet, beautiful trine that's happened. So I got to say, I could see very easily multiple business partnerships. I could also see multiple marriages. And I'm bringing that up because towards, what do I have written down here for you? Okay, in December, there's an eclipse occurring for everybody in December, December 26th, the day after Christmas. At that time, there's an energy that sets down, and it expresses for a period of years, like 5 to 6 years. It's going to express, meaning in this area of your life, you're going to be seeing changes, okay? Now, this is in your house of committed relationships, committed partnerships, committed business partnerships, marriages, okay? Now, you have free will, okay? You also have Neptune there, okay, who has been assisting but is pulling away the assistance at this time come December. And it's not going to be something that necessarily has to occur that day. Actually, what I'm seeing is it's a really good possibility there might be some events that happen right before then, because you have another planet there that's all about surprise. What I want to say to you, let me go to that date for you before I speak any further. I already did look at this, but I want to go through this again. We'll go to the 26th. I'll take you. I forgot to write down when there's this visitor coming. I think it's January, actually. Yeah. Okay. So, fascinating. December sets this energy down of eclipse. Eclipse, specifically at that time, this eclipse is going to mean there's going to be a new beginning, and it's in the house of committed relationships, whether it's business relationships or marriage relationships, partnerships of some sort that you're committed. A new beginning. This new beginning will be dependent upon your ability to release something else. It's kind of like the idea of, I have to let go of this to make room for the new. I have to release this so that something new can come in, okay? Now, again, I want you to be logical and rational and think things through. Do not be impulsive, okay? As far as being impulsive, the reason I mention that is because a couple months later, we have an event occurring, and it's called the Big 2020 Conjunction. It's between Saturn and Pluto, and it happens for you in your 7th house of committed relationships. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking about it. That's why I kind of brought this up at the beginning of this video, is their committed relationships, because there's a theme going on for you and has been. By the way, are all your partners older than you? And if they're not older than you physically, they're wiser than you, or you kind of, you value the fact that they seem kind of, they offer something you don't have as far as tried, true, and tested ways. So they could be tangibly, physically older, or just seem smarter to you in some way, where they offer some sort of wisdom in your life. So in other words, they somehow, you see them as a teacher, as an authority figure. You might partner up very easily with people like that. You'll have a tendency to love that, being drawn to that. And I wouldn't be surprised if it were females. That's the trick here. Older females, but they could also just be older people who have a feminine energy, who could be business partners. You may have always been drawn to older women. You know, you might have been the individual who was drawn to the school teacher type of thing. Okay, so this conjunction that happens for you happens in the house of really deep committed relationships, where you've been emotionally bonded, where you've been bonded by money. And at that time, there's like this new kid on the block that will be coming through. Hold on a second. There's another person coming here coming and that's going to be present on the scene for you at this time. And I wanted you to be aware of this. And I want you to be aware because I want you to think. This does not mean that there is a devious, evil individual coming along, but there is going to be somebody coming along that you're probably going to be impressed by because they are going to be intelligent. They are going to appear extremely wise to you. They do have a very strong feminine energy. And since you already are going to have tendencies to be drawn towards feminine energy that seems wiser and older, and somehow a teacher, I want you to be aware of this. This is January 12th, January 13th. There's that big conjunction. And it's not a coincidence that this sits right on your Uranus. Uranus is all about surprise, okay? Surprises can be a good thing, okay? But at this time, there's going to be a part of you that kind of wants freedom. It's going to light up your individual uniqueness and your freedom and your desire to be the ultimate seeker, to go beyond, okay? And this individual may somehow, some way appear to be able to give that to you at this time, all right? So I just want you to be aware of that. Understand that there are other aspects in your chart that make this really easy to happen, these surprises. The individual idea of, oh yeah, I want to do this. This person will appear as a friend, okay? Because there are things about it where it will just click and work. Other things about it may kind of rub you the wrong way, but pretty much not. I want to just give you the heads up. You're going to have, Mars is going to be working in this area with you, which means Mars is all about, I'm going to go after it. I'm not going to back down. This is what I want. I am seeking my freedom. I don't want you to be impulsive, though. I'm not saying this is wrong. I'm just saying there is a tendency, a very strong inclination to go after what you desire without thinking it through. So you're going to want to know this in advance so that you do think it through first. Think about the long-term goals, okay? The overall long-term goals. Be smart. Instead of being that seeker of looking for someone who can be your teacher, connect in with your own teacher. Connect in with the wisdom that you have. You have Neptune. You know, they've made it easy for you. I'm going to be honest with you. When there's a grand trine for people set up, all right? It's my first house, my second house, my fifth house of romance, my sixth house of work, my 10th house of my highest aspiration, goals, and career. You have a grand water trine there. So what that does is it makes shit really easy for you in these locations of my house, highest aspirations and goals, myself, how I appear to the world, my money, my romances, and my workplace, and my health. There is this thing going on. Even though there might be some other things going on, there's this other thing that is adding ease to the degree where we don't have to try. It's just right there, sitting there on our kitchen table. We didn't even have to cook it. The plate was just sitting there cooked, happened to be our favorite meal. It was like, oh, wow, cool, thanks. You know, so when that happens, it makes us relax. It makes us try a little bit less. And so when that's the setup, okay, it realized that it is a setup. It is a setup for all of a sudden you have this other outer desire and you're like, well, damn, I could probably do that and it probably won't be a problem because this is always there. Just realize that if you think it through rationally and objectively, and think long-term, which I know you do because you have Capricorn in your 7th and your 8th house. Capricorn is about thinking long-term, but it is also about this is what I want and I'm going to act on it. It usually does not take risks, though, when it comes to relationship. It is usually intelligent, okay? But that's why this other person appeals to you. Because they are intelligent, because they plan, because they are strategic. This person's going to possess all that. They're going to be strategic. Does that mean that their strategizing doesn't involve the highest and the best for both of you? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying to be an independent critical thinker, okay? And understand that you are going to be going through transitions, that this is occurring. This is typical for your chart, for your life, because it's typical for all of us, but you've had a lot of help, and so it might make some of the things that are coming up for you a little bit more difficult. Now, what I'm going to end with, because I'm already like way beyond my free minute marking time, and I just kind of want to jump on this real quick here, because there's a challenge that comes up. It's for everybody. It's just a matter of telling you where it happens in your life. There's a challenge that comes up, and the challenge that comes up is in March of 2020. Okay, there's a challenge. Remember this, March of 2020. Okay, and it's going to affect your friendships. Okay, it's going to affect deep, committed, bonded friendships and your belief system. Okay, now that thing that comes up around that time is going to then seemingly be resolved and go away. But when March hits for you, there's going to be this strong desire to act impulsively and probably some anger involved. Don't do it. Be smart. Hold your tongue. And somebody might be approaching you that way as well. And I want you to just understand there's a big square you're going to have in that month. And it's the beginning of the month. It's like the first 2 weeks of that month. There's a strong desire. There's a strong fight mentality that goes on. And it's between two fixed energies. The bull that won't back down with Uranus and the Aquarian who believes it's right, who's very fixed in its thoughts, and it's with Saturn, okay? And Mars is involved. So this has a tendency to blow up. It has a tendency to be, I'm not going to back down. This has a tendency for someone to say, hey, it's my way or the highway type of thing, okay? That energy is going to pass, but it's not going to be resolved. It's going to come back around. And I want you to be aware of that, okay? So if you want me to dig any deeper and understand this a little bit more for you, you know where to find us. Comment down below. Put some more numbers in. Say, hey, this was me. Tell me what you thought about the reading. Give me feedback. We love feedback. And if you want more, just let us know. We'd love to work with you.